Sesaat lagi, Anda akan menyaksikan Renault World Series Formula 3.5 yang dipersembahkan oleh
KFC Pesan Antar, telepon 14022, lebih cepat dan mudah.
Salam Kompas Sport, Formula Renault 3.5 Series kembali hadir untuk menemani Anda Sport Lovers bersama saya Coach Caroline.
Dan saya Feliciano Haryanto. Tidak terasa kita sudah memasuki race kedua untuk di seri Hungaria di sirkuit Hungaroring.
Betul sekali, dan ini juga merupakan seri keempat ya yang sudah dijalani oleh teman-teman kita Tom Dillman dan juga Sean Gelael bersama dengan tim jagonya I Am With Carlin.
Yes, dan tentunya kita tidak hanya berdua di sini. Sudah kedatangan tamu jauh dari negara tetangga. Sanjeev, how you doing?
Hi.
I'm good. Thank you for having me once again. It's good to be back in the studio.
The
It's
second
good to
time.
see you again. It's been 2 weeks or more. 3, I guess.
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks.
The last
It's been
time
a while,
with
guys, and I've missed being around you talking about racing cars.
Yes, I know. We're missing people, ya.
Yeah, dan tentunya
like lost.
tentunya Sport Lovers tidak hanya kami di studio yang juga nanti akan menyaksikan keseruan-keseruan dari race kali ini di Hungaria. Namun kita juga akan melihat bagaimana suasana nonton bareng. Ada 2 kota, Felis, ada Makassar dan juga Solo.
Tapi juga kita ingatkan untuk Anda di rumah, Sport Lovers, khususnya para pecinta kecepatan, ingin interaktif bersama kita, ada hadiah untuk Anda yang bisa ikutan interaktif lewat telepon di 021536600803 untuk di Jabodetabek, dan juga di luar Jabodetabek di 0215360801. Anda juga bisa lihat di layar kaca Anda. Di sana siap-siap nanti ada rekan kita yang akan menyusul datang untuk berbagi hadiah totalnya Rp1 juta bersama Ray Utami.
Betul, ada persembahan dari KFC, ini luar biasa loh. Nonton race dapat uang Rp1 juta.
Ya. Oke, dan tentunya kita akan melihat dulu seperti apa kemarin race pertama yang terjadi. Dimana ini sebuah, akhirnya ya, Sean menunjukkan konsistensinya, Tom Dillman pun juga. Nah, kita akan lihat seperti apa untuk race pertama dari sirkuit Hungaroring. Berikut reviewnya.
Race pertama Formula Renault 3.5 di sirkuit Hungaroring berlangsung Sabtu kemarin. Dalam balapan sebanyak 27 lap, pebalap Rusia dari tim Arden Motorsport Egor Odutsev keluar sebagai yang tercepat, diikuti Roberto Merhi dan Oliver Rowland. Adapun tim jagonya I Am With Carlin berhasil raih poin berkat Tom Dillman yang finish di posisi kelima, sementara Sean Gelael finish di posisi ke-15. Dengan demikian, tim jagonya I Am With Carlin sudah mengumpulkan total 49 poin dan menempati peringkat kelima klasemen dari 10 tim yang ikut balapan.
Yes, the first time at this season, the rookie is on the champions. Yeah, at circuit. What do you think about this, Anya?
I think it was a great result. You know, it also proves that rookies can win a race in Formula Renault 3.5. You know, most of the time the attention is always on those that are a bit more experienced and a bit more in front. But if a rookie gets himself in the right position and does the right things, which is exactly what Igor did yesterday, then he's in a position to actually win the race, and he went and did that. Just proving once again that there's a really very high quality of drivers that are on the Formula Renault 3.5 grid.
Okay, and what is your biggest evaluation about both Tom Dillman and Sean Gelael's performance on the first race?
Well, I think Tom Dillman had a very good race. You know, he started 5th and he finished 5th, so another strong points finish. He needed that personally because in the last race in Spa, in the second race, he didn't score any points. And if there's one thing we know about Tom Dillman is he's very consistent.
Yes,
so he bounced back from his poor result in the second race in Spa. He scored points for the team, a good solid 5th place. And Sean Gelael, well, he kept himself out of trouble. He's a rookie. He's learning stuff, you know. So it's not like he's going to get in the car and work magic. It's really a learning curve for him, and there's small steps to take. So the things that he did right was he got himself consistently, I should say, in a strong position throughout the race. He stayed out of trouble when other cars were actually running into trouble, and he kept the car on track and came to the checkered flag. So he did the right thing, you know, started 15th, finished 15th, but at the end of the day, he's building up confidence, and he's actually got a lot more confidence now going into today's race. So that's going to help him.
Yes,
Perkembangan yang jelas terlihat ya dalam sosok Sean Gelael. Kalau kita lihat statistiknya dari seri pertama hingga sekarang seri keempat, memang sudah ada perkembangan yang terjadi.
Ya, itu memang konsistensi yang ditunjukkan dari tim jagonya Ayam With Dillman, dan memang kita juga akan lihat karena hasil kualifikasi juga sudah keluar. Walaupun Tom Dillman harus turun dari pertama kali race pertama dengan kualifikasi dia harus start di posisi 5, namun di race kedua harus start di posisi 9. Namun Tom Dillman dan juga Sean Gelael menunjukkan konsistensinya. Apakah benar? Kita akan lihat tentunya selesai jeda, tetap di Kompas TV.
Kenikmatan yang sesungguhnya berawal dari kesabaran dan keikhlasan. Mari berbuka dengan KFC jagonya ayam duk-duk.
Kembali di Formula Renault 3.5 Series, dan untuk Anda sport lovers di rumah, kita juga mengajak Anda khususnya yang berada di kota Makassar dan juga Solo, karena ada teman-teman dan juga supporter lain yang mendukung tim jagonya Ayam with Carlin nonton bareng untuk race kali ini di sirkuit Hungaroring.
Nah, sekarang juga sudah ada rekan kami Gibran Muhammad yang berada di sana dan akan melaporkan situasi terkini. Gibran, bagaimana keseruan dari nonton bareng di kota Makassar?
Ya, thank you banget Melis dan juga Conchita. Saat ini saya sudah berada di KFC Ratulagi Makassar, Sulawesi Selatan, di mana sekarang sudah diadakan event nonton bareng World Series Formula Renault 3.5 yang sekarang lagi ada di Makassar, Sulawesi Selatan. Dan tentunya banyak banget nih di KFC Ratulagi Makassar pendukung dari Sean Gelael yang pengen menyaksikan langsung Sean Gelael yang lagi berlaga di Formula Renault Series 3.5 yang lagi diadakan di sirkuit Hungaroring, Hungaria tentunya yang jauh di sana. Nah, untuk tahu sih apa lagi sih yang ada di KFC 21 Makassar ini, mulai dari ada stand-up comedy, ada juga performance dari dancer, dan tentunya seperti yang ada di belakang saya, ini udah ada Firsa yang udah siap nampil dan udah siap menghibur para pendukung dari Sean Gelael. Tapi sebelum kita lihat di performa dari Firsa, masih banyak lagi keseruan-keseruan di Makassar, Sulawesi Selatan. Dan kita mau lihat dulu, cek dulu bagaimana semangat dari para pendukung dari Sean Gelael ini. Kita tes ya, kita lihat nih, kita coba nih. Kita mana suaranya Gelael? Maju tak gentar. Oke, itu dia semangat dari Gelael, yaitu pendukung dari Sean Gelael ini. Wih, seru banget nih. Seru banget nih ya di sini di KFC 21 Makassar, Sulawesi Selatan. Banyak banget keseruan tentunya. Ini si Firsa ini lagi memberikan semangat untuk Sean Gelael yang lagi berkompetisi di sirkuit Hungaroring, Hungaria tentunya. Tapi bukan cuma di Makassar. Kalau kamu tinggal di Makassar, tentunya kamu harus datang ke sini nih di KFC Ratulagi. Dan terus kamu juga nih buat yang ada di luar Makassar, kamu harus nonton, soalnya bukan cuma di Makassar nih, ada di Solo. Bagaimana di Solo? Saya langsung oper ke rekan saya, Ratri. Solo bagaimana nih keadaan untuk nonton bareng di sana? Silakan Ratri.
Dari Makassar ya? Iya. Oke.
Ini Mbak Ratriana.
Ini Mbak Ratri. Ini Mbak siapa? Mbak Ratri.
Yo, mulai. Jagonya ya. Belum. Semangat. Belum.
Ya, KFC Ratulagi ini tidak kalah ramai dari KFC Ratulagi Makassar. Seperti apa sih kemeriahan yang ada di sini?
Jagonya
Sekali lagi.
Jagonya.
Maju tak gentar.
Menjadi yang terdepan.
Nah,
Nah itu dia kemeriahan dari KFC Hartono Mall Solo Baru, di mana 300 guys bersiap untuk mendukung tim jagonya yang berkali, di mana salah satu pebalap Indonesia, Syam Galael bersama timnya yang bersama Tom Dillman akan segera melakukan race cepat mereka dari sirkuit Hungaria. Nah, saya ingin mengajak untuk para sport lovers yang ada di Solo dan sekitarnya untuk segera bergabung di KFC Hartono Mall Solo Baru ini, karena tidak hanya acara nonton bareng saja, namun juga akan ada hiburan dari Arman Maulana dan kawan-kawan Gigi Band yang akan menghibur guys yang ada di KFC Hartono Mall Solo Baru ini. Karena dukungan untuk tim jago yang ambil kalian di acara ajang balap World Series Formula 3.5 ini akan berlangsung sangat seru dengan berbagai pertunjukan dan juga hadiah yang akan dibagi-bagikan melalui kuis. Demikian laporan saya dari Solo, kembali ke Felis dan Conchita.
Terima kasih Ratri dan juga Gibran. Wah, luar biasa ramai sekali ya di Makassar dan Solo. Antusiasmenya terlihat berlimpah para gelailas ini. Ya, dan memang akan terlihat seru nanti juga race kedua ini karena memang sirkuit karakter dari Hungaroring ini juga mirip dengan Monaco karena lambat dan juga sempit. Seperti apa? Nanti kita akan kembali untuk ulasannya bersama Conchita juga Sanjiv untuk sirkuit ini, dan tentunya tetap di Kompas TV.
KFC pesan antar, telepon 14022, lebih cepat dan mudah.
Terima kasih Anda masih menyaksikan Formula Renault 3.5 Series, dan langsung saja kami akan membahas bagaimana sirkuit yang akan digunakan untuk race kali ini. First, we do know that this race is being held in Hungary, and which means this is the Hungaroring circuit. If we see the picture here, which turn do you think is the most complicated one or the hardest one, and what's so tricky about the circuit itself?
Ooh, okay. Well, first of all, taking a look at the circuit, it's about 4.3 kilometers. It is a tight circuit. It's a very tight and twisty circuit. So for the drivers, it's very much like a go-kart. In fact, this circuit you can almost compare it to Monaco, except there are no barriers. So if the driver does make a mistake, you know, there's some runoff area for them to recover. But the circuit itself is quite a challenge for the drivers. As you can see, there are these corners that are like hairpins. These are like 180-degree turns, you know.
Yeah.
So the driver actually starts a lap and then comes to this area. There's heavy braking that goes on in this area. Then they do a quick squirt on the throttle, go a bit fast, and then they got this second area where they have to brake again, you know. The fun part is here, where the track starts going downhill. In fact, the downhill starts here. So apart from just turning left and right, the driver is actually going downhill. So it's like being on a roller coaster as it goes down into this corner, and then all the way here, it's all downhill.
Oh, so this is going downhill?
Yes.
Okay, so which means they can go on, you know, full throttle right here.
They can go full throttle down there, and they have gravity helping them too. So they're going to get very fast. Which makes this corner extremely exciting because it's a blind entry into the left-hander. So the driver really doesn't see it coming, and they really just have to trust that they know the track is going to turn and turn, and hope that there's no chickens crossing the road over here.
Well, that sounds scary.
It could be quite an interesting experience if something goes wrong. But yeah, they go full throttle, and over here it starts going uphill again. So now, from going downhill, the driver's going uphill. They get through this area. There's not much that can happen here in terms of overtaking. It's really an area where the driver needs to get right. A series of left-right corners, some hard braking areas, and all the way till they come to the back straight here. Now this is an area to get on full throttle once again.
This looks tricky.
It is. This sequence of corners is extremely important because, again, they go through this turn first, and then they come to this hairpin here. It's like a 180-degree turn, and it's extremely important. They do that twice. It's like a little S. And it's very, very important to get this correct because over here is the main start-finish straight.
Yeah, it is. And then there goes another tricky turn, yeah.
This is where we can see more overtaking happen because if a driver makes a mistake into the entry of this corner after coming through this lap, then he's going to go slow. And if he goes slow down the start-finish straight, with the help of the DRS, the driver behind him can actually overtake him here. So a lot of action is going to happen right here. That's going to be quite an important corner.
Oke, baiklah Sport Lovers, kita akan langsung melihat bagaimanakah situasi terkini di sirkuit saat ini dan bagaimana pula persiapan dari Tom Dillman dan juga Sean Gelael bersama tim jagonya Ayam with Carlin. Kita lihat, ya ini dia di layar kaca Anda Sport Lovers, sudah bisa Anda saksikan para pebalap yang mulai melakukan formation lap mereka.
Yeah, we've got Mathieu Vassivière starting from pole position. He's in the Lotus type car. And starting right beside him is the Russian driver who won the first race of the day, Orozchev. So he's obviously got a confidence boost. He's starting on the front row of the grid. We've got Sean Gelael, who's going to be starting on 11th this afternoon, and that is in fact his best qualifying position this season so far. So you know, he's slowly getting there. You know, as a rookie coming into this season, it's really about building up confidence and building up small improvements along the way. And today we've actually seen that with Sean pulling out a really good qualifying effort to start 11th on the grid.
Seperti yang kita ketahui, Sport Lovers, ini merupakan tahun yang penting bagi seorang Sean Gelael karena ini merupakan tahun pembelajarannya, di mana kami meyakini bahwa banyak sekali pelajaran serta pengalaman yang ia bisa raih dari pagelaran Formula Renault 3.5 World Series kali ini. Dan kita lihat ini adalah starting grid dari race yang akan diselenggarakan di sirkuit Hungaroring.
Yeah, we've got all the usual suspects at the top of the road there. We've got Oliver Rowland, he's the championship leader down in 5th, so not the best qualifying position for him.
Yep.
Tom Dillman, and right behind him is Sean Gelael, so Jagonya Ayam with Carlin starting right behind each other. Bitska Weiser is in 15th position. She just picked up her first points of the season yesterday, so she's in good position. Roy Nissany actually brought out the red flags during qualifying, but he's going to be starting in 20th position after all. He did not, in fact, qualify within the maximum qualification period, but they have allowed him to start from the back of the grid, so he'll be lining up in 20th position.
Speaking of the pit stop, is it on the 5th or the 6th lap?
Well, the drivers have a pit stop window they can adhere to, and the pit stop window for this race is from anywhere between lap 5 and 14.
Okay.
So that's going to be super important because overtaking is quite hard on this circuit, which is why qualifying is crucial. And right now, the pit stops could actually come and play into position.
Yeah.
If the pit stops go well, the drivers can actually jump a position.
Knowing how Sean Gelael drive his car, what kind of strategy do you think works best for him in this circuit?
I think as the lights go off, Sean's going to have to keep himself clean and out of trouble and get to the pit stop window cleanly. He's got his teammate in front of him. Meanwhile, out in front, we do have car number 4. There is Oliver Rowland, who's actually jumped into the lead. A brilliant start from the Brit and the championship leader. Right behind him is, the Russian Orozchev just gone off track. He's going to drop down to the middle of the order.
That's the first turn, right? That's the first turn that you mentioned.
First turn downhill. We're now into turn 3 at the moment, I believe. And it's getting quite messy with a lot of the drivers running off track. But a great start there by Oliver Rowland.
Ya, dan langsung saja Sport Lovers, untuk menemani Anda di sepanjang race kali ini, saya akan langsung mempersilakan rekan saya, Feliciano Haryanto, untuk membahasnya bersama dengan komentar kita, Sanjeev Pala. Silakan Feliciano dan juga Sanjeev.
Terima kasih kalau kita dan saudara, kembali bersama saya Feliciano Haryanto dan juga masih bersama Sanjeev Pala. And this time we already start for the second race at Hungary.
It's been a great start so far. We've seen the pole sitter on both races so far not being able to defend his position into turn 1. The pole sitter was Mathieu Vassivière, and that's him in second position, chasing Oliver Rowland, who started in 5th position and made a fantastic start, going up into first place. I hope, for his sake, that he did not jump to start, but we'll get a replay in a short while and get any kind of confirmation. But for now, Mathieu Vassivière has to be content with second place as Oliver Rowland leads this race.
Start yang luar biasa dari Oliver Rowland yang mampu langsung take over bagi sang pemegang pole position Mathieu Vassivière. Namun sekarang Vassivière hanya mampu dari runner up untuk race kedua. Kali ini ada Maldia di sana dari Straka Racing yang berada di posisi ketiga, dan juga ada Van Den di posisi keempat. Tom Dillman still going strong at the 5th.
Yeah, it is great result there by Gustav Malja. You know, he's done quite well as well, from 6th place all the way up into 3rd. It's so far looking very strong and very good for him. The Jagonya Ayam with Carlin drivers still are racing back to back. Actually, that's Tom Dillman right in front of, just ahead of Murhi, I believe. Yeah. And we've got Sean Glyle, who's actually dropped down to 13th position. So he's keeping it consistent. Right now, going fastest in Sector 1 is Pietro Fantini. But we're still early days in this race. A brilliant start there by Oliver Rowland. Can't emphasize how difficult it is to overtake at the Hungaroring. So what he did at the start was crucial for him to get away cleanly.
Jadi kita lihat replay atau tayangan ulang dari start tadi yang luar biasa, di mana Motive Xavier yang memimpin pole position namun berhasil Oliver Rowland yang mengambil alih untuk memimpin race kali ini. This is the first turn that,
and that's where we have a look there. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, they got a. It looks like the guys on the front row did have a little bit of wheel spin coming off. They're a bit slow off the start. You can see that.
Yeah.
And Oliver Rowland just really doesn't wait for anyone. Leapfrog Jasman Jaffar, finds his specs here. There's not much to go with.
Yes.
And you really had to have a lot of confidence that he had a better racing line going into that corner there. And this is riding on board with Sean Glyle. You can see his view here. That's Igor Rushov just coming in right in front of him after he got run wide at the end of turn 1.
Ya, Anda tadi baru saja menyaksikan tayangan ulang dari Oliver Rowland yang memulai dari start posisi 5, mampu masuk sampai dengan posisi pertama, dan juga sedikit tayangan ulang dari Sean Glyle yang start dari posisi 11. Namun sedikit kesulitan dan akhirnya sekarang Sean hanya mampu berada di posisi ke-13 untuk sementara. Ini adalah recap dari position saat ini. Rowland diikuti oleh Xavier dan juga Maggia di posisi ketiga. Ada Franti dan Tom Dillman masih mempertahankan posisi 5.
You know who's made a brilliant start? Tom Dillman, actually. He's in 9th. He started in 9th position on the grid, and he's already up into 5th place. That's as good as he did yesterday. So with plenty more laps to come in this race, he's going to be looking to try and find a way onto the podium. That car is capable of a podium finish. We know that because Tom Dillman has taken it onto the podium before, and he has gone strongly in the pre-practice sessions here. So there is potential for him to actually get this car into a strong, at least fighting for a strong podium position.
Oke, dan kalau misalnya melihat dari start yang luar biasa ditunjukkan oleh Tom Dillman tadi, saudara, bahwa Tom Dillman start dari posisi 9, namun saat ini mampu berada di posisi kelima, menunjukkan bahwa potensi mobil yang dipakai oleh Tom Dillman akan bisa bersaing untuk podium kali ini. At least, maybe he can fight for the third and second battle, I think.
I think so. I think he's going to put himself into a great position. And the best thing about today's race is it's not just about the drivers, it's about the drivers and their teams. They will have a pit stop window that should be coming into play around lap 5, from lap 5 to lap 14, I believe, is the pit stop window. And that's when the pit crew has to come together to ensure that they help get their driver to the finish line as fast as possible. A good, clean, quick pit stop is going to be crucial, and the teams that get it right will help their driver jump up a few spots.
Ya, dan sirkuit Hungaroring juga menjadi ujian bagi tidak hanya bagi para drivernya, tapi juga bagi timnya, di mana di lap kelima dan lap ke-14 dibuka untuk pit stop. Jadi tim harus pintar-pintar mengatur strategi untuk memanfaatkan pit stopnya dan mempertahankan posisi yang ada saat ini. Kembali recap untuk kali ini Oliver Rowland diikuti oleh Xavier. I think it's quite close and it's gonna be a nice battle for the first. What do you think about the performance from Xavier car?
I think Xavier has put himself he's probably very angry with himself for not getting the best and clean start. We saw the lights go off and Xavier just seemed a little slow getting off the line. Maybe it caught him by surprise for some reason, but both him and Igor Rushov were actually quite slow getting off the line. And he's going to be kicking himself for not getting a clean start, because he would know how important it is to get a strong start to this race. But at the same time, you know, he's keeping Oliver Rowland honest. Barely half a second separate the two. And in fact, Xavier has just set the fastest lap of the race so far. So he is hungry to try and find a way past at the Hungaroring circuit. And behind them, Gustav Malya, you know, this rookie is another guy who's driving really well. And he's got Pietro Fantini behind him, followed by Tom Dillman. Roberto Merhi is in 6th place. Theo Ilians is in 7th place. Jasman Jafar had a nightmare start. Not very good drive by the Malaysian so far. He's down in 8th place. Nick De Vries is in 9th place. Dean Stoneman is in 10th. And then we've got a front row starter, Igor Orutchev, who's in 11th place.
Ya, recap yang barusan saja dibacakan oleh Sean Giffey saudara bahwa Vazige baru saja mencetak untuk lap tercepat di lap ke-4 barusan, di mana ini berarti Vazige semakin dekat untuk mengejar Oliver Rollman. Diikuti oleh Malia dan Lia Fantin dan Gilman di posisi kelima yang hanya terpaut 1 detik yang berada dengan posisi 5 antara posisi 4 Gilman dan Lia Fantin. Ini adalah pertarungan posisi 1 yang Anda lihat di kaca saat ini, yang tentunya nanti akan diikuti oleh Tom Gilman yang tentunya akan mengejar Fantin dan juga Malia.
Yeah, you can see that Vasiliev trying to find an opportunity to get past, and already the pit stop window is open, and into the pits comes the first person to be started. Yep, we're on lap 5 and the pit stop window has begun.
Okay, I think this is the first one getting into the pit stop.
That looks good, and that looks good, and that was a clean stop there. Already a few cars come in, and I think the Jagonya Ayam Baikalin team, that's car number 10 who's actually just come in. Right behind him.
You can see De Bruin and juga Van Buren, Lyle, Sean Lyle juga ikut masuk dalam pit stop. And also we have Listening followed by Listening Bonini Fasio. Jadi sudah ada 6 driver yang masuk ke pit stop memanfaatkan peluang kali ini.
Yeah, it's quite tricky for the teams to kind of figure out strategy-wise when it's most beneficial to bring the drivers in. And the good thing for Sean now is that he's completed his pit stop. And in the event of a safety car, if it happens now before other drivers have not completed their pit stop, it will actually fall into his hands. He'll actually gain an advantage. So from his perspective, that could help him out quite a bit. But the most important thing is he's gone into the pit stops and he's done with his pit stop. Now he can focus on the racing and focus on trying to move himself up the grid. As we see here, Oliver Roland trying to keep behind him Matthew Vasiliev as Jasman Jafar comes into the pit to complete his mandatory pit stop. Also, Orutchev is in the pits as well.
Menyusul Jasman, Jafar, dan juga Orutchev dan Kisser yang masuk ke pit stop. Dan seperti yang kita lihat tadi, Sean Lyle adalah satu dari 6 driver pertama yang masuk ke pit stop, dan ini merupakan bisa jadi keunggulan bagi para driver ini, di mana mereka sudah menyelesaikan terlebih dahulu pit stopnya, dan pada saat para driver yang memimpin race kali ini masih belum menyelesaikan pit stopnya.
So it's about 28.2 seconds for most of the pit stops so far that we're seeing. Good solid time there by the drivers. This of course includes the time that it will take them to actually drive into the pit lane according to the speed limiter, and then get out to full throttle after the cars have been serviced. And they of course change 2 tires because it's just the faster way of doing it. There's no real necessity to change the front 2 tires at this stage for such a short race, and the tires are actually capable of going the distance. As we see here, Jasman Jafar right there, and we've got Nick De Vries right behind him. So that looks like a Mercedes car in front, and right behind him that looks like a McLaren car.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oke, ini adalah pertarungan untuk posisi ke-12 antara Jasman Jafar yang diikuti oleh De Vries. So, do you think it's a good decision for the teams to get up this stop first?
Well, I think at this stage of the race leaders are trying to keep themselves out for as long as possible. They're trying to build up a gap before they actually pit, because the last thing they want is to come out into traffic or come out into an unfavorable position. But you see, they've only got a couple of laps to get their pit stop over and done with, and we're already on lap 7. And by lap 14, you have to complete your pit stops. So the race leaders are going to try and stay out just a little bit longer. But if you see Oliver Roland diving into the pits, you can rest assured that Matthew Vasiliev is going to try and pit right behind him.
So they have to complete 2 pit stops for this race. 1 pit stop. Okay. Jadi memang diwajibkan untuk mereka menyelesaikan satu pit stop untuk race kali ini. Dan bagi yang driver dan juga pebalap yang terlebih dahulu dan sudah menyelesaikan pit stopnya, berarti mereka sudah bisa fokus ke dalam balapannya dan juga nanti akan bisa mempersempit gapnya pada saat driver-driver lain masuk ke pit stop menyusul mereka. Namun saat ini juga kita sudah
Oh, that does not look like good news actually for Philo Patrick Arman.
Satu driver lagi dari Indonesia yang tampaknya bermasalah dengan mobilnya pada saat pit stop. Dan saat ini sisa waktu yang tersisa adalah hanya 27 menit. Dimana ini berarti sudah, it's already half of the race actually for in the timing.
Well, we're coming close to half race distance, and we've got the two drivers locked into a very tight battle. Barely 1 second separates the top two drivers. And then we had Gustav Malja, who's running strongly in third place. Behind him is Pietro Fantin, and then Tom Dillman is still maintaining his 5th place position at the moment. So that's kind of the order at the front, as I think we're riding on board with Dean Stoneman right now. He is a Red Bull Racing back driver, which explains his Red Bull Racing livery on the car. A lot of these drivers actually are so close to Formula One that it actually shows in Renault 3.5. This is a great stepping stone to get into the pinnacle of motorsports, and a lot of them are actually backed by these major Formula One teams, and they've made it a trend to kind of use the colors of the Formula One teams to kind of state their allegiance, state their flags. And as you can see here, this is a Lotus colored car, and that has Mathieu Vassivière in it. And this Frenchman is obviously tied to this team.
Ya, sepintas memang kalau kita lihat dengan desain dan juga warna dari mobil-mobil yang digunakan oleh para driver saat ini, saudara, memang persis mirip dengan yang digunakan di Formula One. Dan memang Formula 3.5 by Renault ini adalah sebuah batu loncatan bagi para driver, khususnya bagi para rookie, untuk naik ke jenjang selanjutnya di kasta tertinggi untuk balap jet darat, yaitu Formula One. Dan saat ini I think there's no overtaking right now. As we can see, it's already on the
Tom Dillman into the pits.
Tom Dillman masuk ke pit saat ini.
Well, let's keep an eye and see. He's coming in from 5th position. He wants to make sure that he gets a good clean pit stop, because he has two other drivers, including Dean Stoneman and Roberto Merhi in the pits with him. So this is actually a battle between pit crews at the moment. Which pit crew can actually help his driver get out as fast as possible? And I believe Dillman maintains his position ahead of Merhi, and that is Dean Stoneman. So that's 31 seconds by Tom Dillman and 30 seconds by Merhi, and Dean Stoneman actually had a faster pit stop with 29.1 seconds, but no damage done to Tom Dillman. I think he should come out. When everything ends up shaking itself out, he would still be in 5th position by the end of it.
Yes. Tom Dillman masih mempertahankan posisinya, memimpin untuk pit stop, diikuti oleh Roberto Merhi dan juga Dean Stoneman. Ini juga merupakan salah satu pesaing berat bagi Tom Dillman. Oliver Rowland is still leading for the race, followed by Vassivière. These two. Any chance for Diaz?
Well, I was just going to say, did you notice that Oliver took a very, very strong line? Like he almost looked like he was going to go into the pit stops. And I'm just wondering whether he's actually just trying to throw Mathieu Vassivière off just a little bit, kind of trick him into think I'm going to go into the pits and then continue going, and Vassivière just pulls into the pits by accident. I think he's trying to, shake him.
Kalau misalnya Anda melihat tadi pada saat di putaran terakhir menuju garis finish, ada sedikit trik yang ditunjukkan oleh Oliver Rowland, di mana menunjukkan bahwa dia seperti akan masuk ke dalam pit. Namun saat ini kita lihat, I think there's a problem.
Van Buren, right? Van Buren locked up nice and hard there. That's not going to do his tires any justice, especially since he's on the new tires already. So he wants to actually be thinking about driving those a bit more carefully. One driver who's actually storming his way through the field at the moment is Jasman Jaffa. He's just set another fastest lap, and he's in 6th position at the moment. We know he qualified quite well today. He was in 3rd position, but had a terrible start and dropped all the way down to 9th position. But right now, Jasman Jaffa is moving himself up the grid, and I think this is going to be a good message to the rest of the drivers who have not pit, that it might be time to actually come in and get your tires changed, or else he might fall into the risk of being caught by the likes of Jasman Jaffer, who's actually clocking a 1:31.883 second lap compared to the race leaders at the moment who are clocking 1:32.787.
So it's a good pit stop for Jasman Jaffer. It's quite a nice juice. Oh.
Yeah, so here comes into the pits the number 2 car. Mathieu Vassivière has decided, I'm not going to wait for Oliver. I have no idea what he's doing. I'm going to pit and I'm going to take charge of my own destiny. It's quite a bold move here, and it's probably the best thing the team can do is to try and pit him early so that he gets one good clear lap and see if he can actually jump Oliver Rowland in the pit stops. Let's see now. Mathieu Vassivière, a lot of pressure on him. It looks like a clean stop by the team. Let's see how many seconds as he comes across the line. Vassivière goes for 29 seconds flat. And behind him, Gustav Malja also in the pits, 29.1 seconds. Okay, so this is the crunch time. This is going to tell us who's going to come out on top. Oliver Rowland, going around the track at the moment, has basically to decide whether he wants to come in or does he actually want to stay out and try and build up a bigger gap before pitting.
Let's see. Jadi ini adalah keputusan yang harus segera diputuskan oleh Oliver Rowland yang saat ini belum masuk ke dalam pit, di mana dua pesaingnya, Vassivière dan juga Malja yang melakukan pit stop dengan baik. Dan Jasman Jaffer yang semakin mendekati untuk masuk ke 5 besar, diikuti oleh Tom Dumoulin yang juga setelah masuk pit stop. So this driver is already focused on the race. They already have the pit stop. So akhirnya Oliver Rowland masuk ke pit stop, saudara.
Oliver Rowland coming into the pits, he decided he has to cover Vassivière. He understands the threat of what Vassivière can do if he's left alone by himself in clean air to set some good fast laps. So Vassivière at the moment out on track. Oliver Rowland is in the pit lane. This is going to be really tight as they come out. Let's see if his crew, the Fortec Racing crew, can get it done. A pit stop. We know that Vassivière, that was nice and quick. Vassivière was at 29 seconds. What's Rowland going to be? And look out for Mathieu Vassivière coming down the start, finish straight. Well done by the Fortec. 27.4 seconds, a faster pit stop. And you can see that is the difference of 27.4-second pit stop and a 29-second pit stop. Mathieu Vassivière has to be content with second place.
Nice move from Fortec Motorsport. Sebuah strategi yang luar biasa dari Fortec Motorsport dengan menciptakan catatan waktu tercepat untuk pit stop di race kali ini, saudara, di mana hanya 27 detik tadi dicatatkan oleh Oliver Rowland dan akhirnya mampu mempertahankan posisi pertamanya, diikuti oleh Mathieu Vassivière dengan gap atau selisih waktu hampir 2 detik. Dan ini, as we can see right now, it's Jasman Jaffer already on the 4th position, following Malja there.
Jasman Jaffer has done actually very well to recover himself. You see, his teammate is leading the race. They're both in Fortec Racing cars, and his teammate Oliver Rowland is leading the race. And Jasman Jaffer is trying to do his best as possible to try and join his teammate on the podium at the very least. Right now, he's done quite a lot of the hard work already. He pitted early, got the right tires on, and went off and set some really good blistering laps and moved himself up into 4th position. He's got a rookie in front of him, Malja, who he's going to be trying to see if he can find a way past. But it's going to take a few seconds for Jasman to actually come up and behind the youngster at the moment as these two continue this battle. And I think this is a battle that's going to go all the way down to the wire, as this is the closest I've seen Mathieu Vassivière. He's actually taking a look at Oliver Rowland, looked on the outside. There's really no room there. Cuts back, comes in, tucks in right behind. They start going downhill into turn 2. Looks on the outside. Oliver Rowland will have the racing line. He's got to defend really hard, but you can see them there coming downhill. It's going to be really crucial to make this right-hand turn, and now flat out on the accelerator. It's full throttle all the way to this blind left-hand turn here. It's a kink that's going to be very important. They start coming uphill again, and he defends the position from Mathieu Vassivière, but only just. You can see Vassivière is extremely hungry and trying to get past Oliver Rowland, but just couldn't do it this time around.
Ya, baru saja diperlihatkan dari pertarungan untuk posisi pertama, Vassivière yang hampir saja mendahului Oliver Rowland, namun Oliver Rowland masih gagal mempertahankan untuk memimpin race kali ini. Sudah melewati critical point tadi, saudara, di tikungan keempat. di mana ini adalah critical point yang biasa terjadi dan ini adalah tikungan kiri. Okay, so this is still safe for Roland to leading for the race, but Fazivia is already seeing what he got.
Yeah, I think, but see, Oliver Rowland knows exactly what position Fazivia is in. In yesterday's race, it was Oliver Rowland who was trying to get his way past, and just for a second there, car number 19, and that would be Pietro Fantin, has just had a penalty, and for that he'll add another 10 seconds to his race. I'm not quite sure exactly what the penalty was for. We need to find out a bit more about that penalty, but Pietro Fantin, who's currently running in 5th position, is going to add 10 seconds to his time, and that's going to benefit the drivers behind him, which includes Tom Dillman.
Tom Dillman mendapatkan keuntungan di mana pesaingnya Fantin yang berada di posisi 5 saat ini mendapatkan penalti 10 detik. Ini berarti keuntungan.
And that's Sean Gelael. Oh my goodness, it's a crash. We can't exactly see what exactly went wrong. Loses the car. Spins round. He's on. Yeah, there's not much runoff area there. I did say it's close to Monaco, but not exactly as safe in terms of runoff area. And Sean just seemed to lose control of the car. I'm not sure if there was actually a mechanical failure at the moment with that car, but he did seem to come into the corner quite hot. Spins around and then just finds his way into the barrier. And unfortunately, that is his first retirement of season from an accident, and that's where the crash happens there in that last sector of the circuit. So that would be somewhere around between 10 and 12, I think. I think he might have been 11. Turn 11 actually. He went off.
In 11.
He went off in turn 11.
Ya, tampaknya tadi Sean Gelael mengalami harus keluar dari race, saudara, di tikungan ke-11. Belum ketahuan apakah memang ini ada masalah pada mobilnya, namun tampak terlihat tadi Sean tidak mampu menggunakan mobilnya pada saat di tikungan ini. So, it's gonna be alone for Tom Dillman to give this Jagonya Ayam team with Colin for the point. But
exactly, it's quite a lonely race for Tom Dillman at the moment in terms of not having his teammate on board. But it was a bit of a shame for Sean Gelael, you know, because he started the race and then he was actually keeping a consistent pace, and that was something that actually caught my attention, that Sean was actually keeping consistent laps over the period of the initial start of this race. So it did seem like, you know, he was building a bit more confidence and you know, building up his race performance. So I'm not exactly entirely quite sure exactly how. And there we can see the double yellows at turn 10 and turn 11. Exactly how Sean actually went off. It will be interesting to find out exactly whether there was a mechanical issue with the car or in fact did he just get caught out by the track conditions. But we'll find out shortly, I guess. But it's a shame for the youngster, you know, another race where he's not able to score points.
Ya, tentunya ini menjadi catatan tersendiri bagi Sean. I think he's pointed for this
race. Yeah, I think his face says it all there. That's a very, very disappointed
he's trying to be consistent, but we will see. Is there any mechanical issue or... Oke, tampaknya tentunya kekecewaan terlihat tadi dari Sean Gelael, saudara, di mana Sean pada race pertama mampu finish, namun ada masalah tampaknya di race kedua kali ini. Tentunya Sean tidak mampu menyelesaikan race. Dan saat ini masih pertarungan antara dua driver di depan, antara Oliver Rowland dan Mathieu Fazivia, dengan sisa waktu 13 menit untuk race kali ini.
Well, you said it right. He's got 13 and a half minutes plus 1 lap to try and find a way past for Mathieu Fazivia. Not sure how much damage he can do in that stage. Meanwhile, behind that, we've got Gustav Malya, who's actually 12 seconds adrift. So these two at the front have really dropped the rest of the pack. Jasman Jaffa is catching Gustav Malya by almost a couple of tenths a lap. So in about 2 or 3 laps, we're going to see maybe about 4 to 5 laps. Jasman Jaffa is going to be right up behind Gustav Malya, and then he's going to try and see, oh, I spoke too soon, right? I think that's Jasman Jaffa right behind Gustav Malya at the moment. So he's going to see if he can try and find a way past. And behind Jasman Jafar, we've got Pietro Fantin, but we know he has a 10-second penalty that will be added to him. And behind that is Sean Dillman. And then Theo Ilianes, and then Roberto Murphy in 8th place. Nick de Vries is in 10th, and Van Buren is running 10th.
Recap untuk posisi kali ini untuk sudah memasuki lap ke-17, Oliver Rowland dan juga Vassivier masih bertarung untuk posisi pertama dan ada diikuti oleh Malia yang dikejar oleh Jasman Jafar hanya dengan selisih waktu kurang dari 3 detik, dan juga ada Pietro Fantin dan Tom Dillman yang mengikuti. Yang pasti pada saat ini Tom Dillman mendapatkan keuntungan dari Fantin yang mendapatkan penalti sebanyak 10 detik. Di posisi ketujuh ada Theo Ilianes, Murphy,
well, let's take a look at here. Tom Dillman, the only Jagonya Ayam with Carlin race car that's happening at the, out on track at the moment, running in 6th place, but looking in position to score some good points at the moment.
So I think we have a news what happens to Sean Glyer. Planning to stop only for pit stop on lap 6, where tires going off, losing grip and big oversteer in the last section of this Hungary.
Right, so yeah, big oversteer moment for him. Lost control of the car and just wasn't able to catch the rear of the car. It got away from him. These are really high, very powerful cars. And unfortunately for Sean, it's going to be one of those things he puts down to learning experience. You know, he's going to get a little bit more experience as he tries to understand these cars. It's not easy to jump from a Formula 3 car into a Renault Formula 3.5 racing machine. There's a huge upgrade in terms of power, and it takes a lot to actually understand how to use this power and how to harness the power of these machines.
Yeah. So, jadi memang catatan dari bagi analisa dari Sanjeev bagi Sean adalah bahwa di race kali ini Formula 3.5 mobil mempunyai kekuatan yang lebih besar. Jadi memang Sean harus bisa dan pintar-pintar menyesuaikan kekuatan dari mobilnya dan menyesuaikan kembali dengan karakter dari tiap sirkuit. Memang lebih susah untuk mempertahankan konsistensi. So, this is gonna be a big learn for Sean, actually, yeah.
Yeah, every time he goes out on track and every time he sets a lap or gets a timed lap in, that's a learning curve for him here. He's taking one more step in his development to becoming a complete driver, you know. So today, unfortunately, he stopped a bit short, but at the same time, it's going to be a lesson that he takes with him for the rest of the season, you know. It's not, I mean, we saw his face, he looks disappointed, so he obviously knows that he's got more work to put in, and you can expect him to put his head down and try and get the work done, because when given an opportunity, like in Monaco where he put himself in a good opportunity, you know, Sean's able and capable of producing a result. He got his first points of the season in Monaco. He kept his head down and kept his racing clean and came away with the points. So, you know, he just has to keep doing that every race weekend and slowly build up and slowly build that momentum into a season.
Yes. Memang ini adalah season pertama, tahun pertama bagi Sean untuk bergabung di Formula 3.5 dan harusnya memang dimanfaatkan bagi Sean untuk perlahan-lahan belajar beradaptasi dengan mesin mobil yang kekuatannya besar.
I'm really excited to see what the two in front can do. For 19 laps, we've seen Mathieu Vassivier just tail Oliver Rowland around this circuit. Is he going to be able to make a way past? This is Van Buren there, who currently is running in 10th position. And there's a little trail there of 10th and forward of the cars there trying to find their way past. But we don't tend to see much overtaking here at the Hungaroring circuit. It's very tight, it's very twisty, it's very tricky, and sometimes it's really difficult for the drivers to find a way past. Unless, of course, the driver in front makes a mistake. And the only way to pressure a driver in front to make a mistake is to keep piling on the pressure, just like what Vassivier was doing to Oliver Rowland just now. Keep piling on the pressure, stay close, and hopefully the driver in front makes a mistake, and then you have to capitalize on it.
So, Vassivier just hoping for the mistake that from the Oliver Rowland, or maybe it's gonna be happen just like the first race where there's overtaking on the last turn.
We saw some overtaking, nice overtaking there by Roberto Murphy on the last corner, snatching second place from Oliver Rowland, who is now leading the race. So he's going to want to hang on to that.
Yeah.
And he would have learned his lesson from race 1, so there's no way he's going to make the same mistake this race round. Third place now is still Gustav Malya, who is managing for now to keep Jasman Jafar behind him and is just about holding on to his third place. As we see here, this is the battle for third and fourth place. Jasman Jafar, although lapping faster, still unable to look like he's in a position to even bother the rookie at the moment. So Malya actually, like I said, no pressure from Jasman Jafar at the moment. And behind Jasman Jafar, we've got Pietro Fantin. Again, no pressure from Fantin on Jasman Jafar. It's really difficult for these drivers to actually get that close at the moment. Look at these two. See, these two are drivers who are close to each other. You can see that the minute Roland looks into his rearview mirror, the only thing he's going to see is Mathieu Vassilière, who, of course, goes a little bit hot into that corner and almost gets his braking wrong. So as a result, you can see Oliver's about to pull up a bit of a gap now, slightly bigger gap than the last time around. But nonetheless, Vassilière is still keeping so close to Oliver Rowland. The gap just went up a bit. That's only because Vassilière made a small mistake braking. Like I said, that those last few sequence of corners are super important for the driver to get right. And if Jasman Jafar gets it right here, that's an opportunity to come close onto the driver in front and try and make his way past.
Oke, kita sudah memasuki di sisa 6 menit untuk pertandingan balapan kali ini, dan di lap ke-21 baru saja melewati garis finish. Malya diikuti oleh Jafar, Fantin dan juga Dillman. Dan menarik untuk dilihat, saudara, memang dari pemimpin race saat ini Oliver Rowland diikuti oleh Vassilière yang terus mengekor, hanya menanti bagi Oliver Rowland melakukan kesalahan.
And let's have a look at the best time in the pits. It was Rowland who had the best pit stop of the day. And after that was car number 60, which is Visser. Bitske Visser had the second best pit stop, followed by Silis Alfonso Salis Jr. So that's actually the ABF team who had 2 of the 3 fastest pit stops. So that's a very good sign by the ABF team there. They've got a solid pit crew who know how to turn their car around very, very fast.
2 dari pebalap ABF team menunjukkan bahwa mereka mampu melakukan pit stop tercepat, masuk di 5 besar untuk pit stop tercepat di race kali ini di sirkuit Hungaroring. So no pressure, still no pressure from Vassilière, from Jasman Jafar and Fantin for Malya.
Well, with a couple of laps to go, basically we've got 5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. And what Vassilière doesn't want to do is stay in the dirty air behind Oliver Rowland the whole lap round. Same goes for Jasman Jafar, who's chasing Malya in front of him. So what they might do is just drop off just a little bit to let the tires settle down a bit, to let them get back into a rhythm. And once that gap is just dropped off just a little bit, they can start pushing and chasing. Because it's really difficult to maintain super fast laps, lap after lap after lap. Yes, all the drivers are pushing, but at the same time, there's a difference between attacking and then just holding formation. So I think what Vassilière was doing the last couple of laps was actually just, relaxing just a little bit, composing himself and getting ready for a final challenge, because he knows that he's running out of time to actually try and steal that race win from Oliver Rowland. And these two are the 2 drivers that are battling for the championship as well. So he needs to get as many points as possible. As we see right there, that was actually Dean Stoneman who managed to muscle his way past up into, he got his way past Panis, Aurelius Panis there. So Dean Stoneman has made his way past. And here we see Mathieu Vassilière. What can the driver do with just barely, maybe we've got about 4 laps to go in this race.
Kurang lebih tersisa 4 lap lagi bagi Mathieu Vassilière untuk terus mengekor Oliver Rowland. Apakah dia mampu nanti mengambil alih untuk posisi pertama dan memimpin race. Namun yang pasti dari kedua ini juga tidak hanya bertarung untuk juara di sirkuit Hungaroring kali ini, tapi juga untuk Driver Championship standing saat ini. Sementara Oliver Rowland memimpin dengan 98 poin, diikuti oleh Mathieu Vassilière di posisi kedua dengan 89 poin dan Jasman Jafar di 75 poin.
So far, it's status quo up in front for the two at the front. But if Vassivier wants to try and take that race win, he's going to have to do something real soon and hope he can find a way past Oliver Rowland.
So, this is always Oke, kita akan merecap dulu saudara untuk kali ini race di mana masih belum ada perubahan dan juga gap tampaknya yang ditunjukkan oleh Rowland antara dengan Vassivier semakin jauh. Hanya konsistensi dan juga yang harus dipertahankan oleh Oliver Rowland.
Mathieu Vassivier has just set the fastest lap of the race so far. So you can, actually we can almost see it a couple of corners ago that he's actually mounting his final attack on Oliver Rowland. So let's just see what Mathieu Vassivier can do and whether Oliver Rowland is going to be pressured into making a mistake. I think it's going to be a big ask to expect Oliver Rowland to actually make a mistake. So if Vassivier wants to do something, he's going to have to make his own luck and make his own opportunity. And he's doing that at the moment. He set the fastest lap the last time around, and he's trying his best to try and find a way past the British driver in front of him. He's brought the gap down, but you see that's just not enough. You can come right up behind the driver, but trying to find a way past is a completely different thing. They're just entering now the section of the track that is very, very tricky to make any overtaking moves. The cars come up constantly next to each other, very close to each other, only because they're going through a series of corners that allow the cars to do such. What's going to be super important is the last couple of corners, trying to get a good run of those sequence of events, a sequence of corners, so that he can get a good run down the start-finish straight.
So this is a good defensive from Oliver Rowland to Vassivier, I think.
It's definitely a good defensive driving from Oliver Rowland. He knows exactly what to do to try and make Matthew's life as difficult as possible. And here we go. This is the corner where it's extremely important to get a good run out of the corner because you're full throttle and you want to maximize your time on a full throttle to open up that gap. And look like Oliver Rowland's doing enough lap after lap to consistently give Vassivier no opportunity to even dream about snatching the race win from him.
Ya, Mathieu Vassivier baru saja mencetak lap tercepat di menit-menit terakhir untuk race kali ini. Namun ini tidak cukup. Oliver Rowland masih membutuhkan pertahanan yang cukup baik dan tidak memberikan celah sedikit pun bagi Vassivier untuk mengambil alih memimpin race. Dan saat ini race akan memasuki untuk lap terakhir, putaran terakhir bagi race kedua kali ini. And as we can see also this gonna be a battle for a team championship between Jagonya Ayam with Carlin and Instructor Racing.
Now this is extremely interesting. Car number 4 is under investigation and car number 4 is the man who's been leading this race from the very first corner. I absolutely have no idea unless there was an infringement. Now, there's definitely nothing that's happened on track that I've seen that causes me to believe that there was some sort of infringement by Oliver Rowland. Because Mathieu Vassivier hasn't even pressured him into trying to make a move. So I don't think it would have anything to do with the action we've seen on track. Perhaps there was something that happened during the pit stop that we didn't pick up on, or I'm going to just go out on a limb here and take it back to the very start of that race when I said that Oliver Rowland had a brilliant start and I just hope that he didn't do something as silly as jump to start. And I'm not sure whether that could be the case, and I'm not saying it is, but until we find out a bit more information, all we know is that the man leading this race and the man about to take the checkered flag might not be the winner of this race.
Poor Oliver Rowland. So, this is the last lap dan sudah masuki putaran terakhir saudara. Namun sebelumnya ada catatan dari tadi bahwa Oliver Rowland sedang dalam penyelidikan. Belum diketahui apakah memang ada sebuah pelanggaran dilakukan oleh Oliver Rowland di race kali ini. Apakah dari pit stop masih dalam penyelidikan. Namun yang pasti saat ini dia sudah memimpin dan akan segera menjuarai untuk race di Hungaroring kali ini. Namun terancam akan dibatalkan, didiskualifikasi, mungkin tidak akan menjadi juara di Championship kali ini karena pelanggaran atau mungkin kesalahan yang dilakukan olehnya atau mungkin timnya.
Well, let's find out. He started the race in fifth position at the very first corner on the very first lap. This man in car number 4, Oliver Rowland, jumped into the race lead, and he has just held on to that race lead with an ironclad grip and has not given anybody any opportunity to take it away from him. The stewards now are investigating him, but for now, it is this man in car number 4 from 4Tech Racing, Oliver Rowland, who comes across the start-finish line and takes the checkered flag. Provisionally, he is your race winner. Matthew Vassivier is in second place. Now, if anybody, if Oliver Rowland is under investigation, obviously he hasn't been told about it, not the way he's celebrating in his car. So obviously he thinks he's got the race win safely under his belt. We'll find out shortly, and we'll try and find out as fast as we can and share that information with you. At the moment, it is Oliver Rowland who's won the race from Matthew Vassivier. In third place, we're going to see it should be coming up to cross the line, the rookie himself.
Malia sudah memasuki dan memastikan diri untuk naik podium, salah satu rookie yang akhirnya naik ke podium setelah Igor. Sedikit recap, Oliver Rowland menjuarai untuk race kedua di Hungaroring, diikuti oleh Vassivier, Malia di posisi ketiga, Jasman Jafar posisi keempat, Fantin 5, Tom Dillman dari tim jagonya Ayam with Carlin di posisi 6, Theo Elias, Merhi, and De Vries, kemudian Van Buren di posisi ke-10. Dan sampai dengan saat ini Oliver Rowland melakukan selebrasinya racer dari Inggris ini, namun masih belum diketahui. Dia juga tampaknya belum sadar bahwa dia sedang dalam penyelidikan untuk pelanggaran dan kesalahan yang masih diselidiki. Dan kita akan kembali saudara untuk podium dari race kedua Hungaroring usai jeda, jadi tetap di Kompas TV.
KFC pesan antar, telepon 14022, lebih cepat dan mudah.
Terima kasih masih menyaksikan Formula Renault 3.5 Series. Menarik sekali race kali ini, dan kalau kita lihat tadi sayang sekali memang Sean Gelael harus mengalami kecelakaan sehingga tidak bisa menyelesaikan race-nya kali ini.
Iya tentunya, tapi bagi saya pribadi sebenarnya ini ada sedikit membosankan dibandingkan race-race sebelumnya.
Ya.
Sedikit insiden, mengharapkan insiden tidak, tapi juga terdapat sedikit overtaking atau saling mendahului di sini. Hanya bermain strategi di tim masing-masing dan juga di pit stop.
Kalau dibandingkan dengan Monaco mungkin memang ada beberapa tikungan yang mirip, tapi kalau untuk tensinya berbeda jauh sekali, di mana pada saat seri Monaco juga ada beberapa insiden besar yang sempat mengejutkan tidak terjadi dalam race kali ini. Kita akan melihat bagaimana situasi atau suasana di sana pada saat podium berlangsung.
Dan what do you think about this race, for the second race at the Hungaroring, Sanjeev? So Oliver Rowland is still strong. Start from the 5th position, and now he's the champion.
Yeah, I think probably the most exciting part about the whole race was the first corner. Where we did see that brilliant start by Oliver Rowland, going from 5th all the way up into the race lead. And that's a race lead that he held on all the way to the checkered flag. So he did well. His pit crew did well because they were the fastest pit crew of the entire afternoon. So they got him in, changed the tires and got him out so that he can continue the race lead, and he ended up taking the checkered flag. Now, whether he's the winner or not, that's something that we're still not sure about, because just before the end of the race, we found out that he's under investigation. So we'll wait to see exactly what he's being investigated for. And what the outcome of that. But otherwise, you know, Oliver Rowland did a fantastic job. He didn't allow Matthew Vassivier any opportunity to come close. And unfortunately for us, that meant there was not too much action happening at the front of the grid.
So memang yang ditunjukkan oleh Oliver Rowland adalah mempertahankan dari dengan lap pertama sampai dengan lap ke-27 masih mampu menjaga dan mempertahankan posisi pertamanya walaupun dia juga masuk ke pit stop di posisi terakhir. But unfortunately for the racer from jagonya Ayam with Carlin team, Sean Gelael, has to go out on the I think it's on the 13.
Yeah, he had
laps.
quite an unfortunate incident there, you know, basically lost control of the car, and it's quite difficult for a driver to try and regain control of the car. You know, it's something that it takes a lot of skill and it takes a lot of experience to try and build up the opportunity to. So imagine the best way I can try and explain it to you is like if you've ever tried ice skating or rollerblading, and then all of a sudden you're driving or you're riding on something, and then there's a puddle of oil or something, and the car just slips, and when it turns, you know, you need lightning quick reaction to try and catch it. And even if you make the right move, sometimes you need a lot of luck to try and catch the car, because you must be on the right surface, you know. And unfortunately for Sean, like I said, this circuit is very tight. There's runoff area, and we saw him go off onto the runoff area, but the gravel conditions change once you're on the runoff area, you know. So there's not too much he could do. He was really a passenger once he lost control of the car, and he ended up in the barriers, and that had kind of put an end to his race. Extremely disappointed, we can tell from the look on his face, and I can tell you that says a lot, because that also tells me that this is a driver who understands that A, a mistake has been made, and B, he's furious with himself, which is great, because he's going to take this energy and then he's going to use it to get better, and he's going to use it to ensure that he does not make this kind of mistake ever again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, and he's actually not satisfied with the end result of this race. What do you think about this whole race today?
The whole race today, I think in general terms, it was a good solid race by a lot of the drivers. You know, most of them kept clean. There was not too much overtaking, simply because the circuit is not one that encourages overtaking. Spa-Francorchamps last time around was a dream for most drivers. They have plenty of overtaking opportunities. This time around, there's not too many overtaking opportunities and not too many overtakes that we saw. But nonetheless, from a driver's perspective, the drivers did the right thing, those who finished the race. You know, they kept the car on the tarmac and they got some consistent laps in and they got to the checkered flag.
Yes.
Tetap konsisten, Felis. Jadi ini sedikit ada perbedaan pendapat antara Felis dan juga Sajib ya. Kalau menurut Sajib ini merupakan hasil yang baik, di mana ada beberapa driver yang berhasil mempertahankan konsistensi mereka. Sementara untuk Felis ini agak sedikit kurang insiden.
No. Same as Tom Dillman shown that he also shown his consistency. Tom Dillman finished at 5th on the race, first race, and also on the second race. Even though it's a benefit from Fantin actually, but it's good for Team Jagonya Ayam with Carlin.
Yeah, it's a great result by Tom, because he qualified. He had a poor qualifying session, so he actually ended up on 9th position, and then he battled his way all the way up to finish 5th and in the points.
We can see the podium now. Sport lovers, kita akan melihat suasana di Hungaroring untuk melihat bagaimanakah penyerahan podium kali ini.
Oliver Rowland tentunya setelah race kali ini mempertahankan posisi pertamanya, memimpin klasifikasi klasemen championship sementara. Tentunya diikuti oleh Mathieu Vazivier, mendapatkan poin penuh 25 poin bagi Oliver Rowland, yang itu berarti saat ini poin yang dikumpulkan bagi Oliver Rowland adalah 103 ya. No, 113.
Well, it's a good day there for Fortec Racing. Another race win under the belt and a good solid position there for Oliver Rowland.
Dan kita akan segera bergabung ke Hungaria untuk lagu kebangsaan dari sang juara. Baru saja lagu kebangsaan bagi Oliver Rowland. Ini adalah pebalap yang asalnya dari Inggris. Tentunya dikumandangkan lagu kebangsaan, dan Vortec mendapatkan poin penuh untuk race kali ini dan masih tentunya memimpin untuk klasemen bagi tim saat ini. Diikuti oleh kita akan melihat rekap bagi klasemen tim saat ini, saudara. Vortec memimpin, diikuti oleh tim dari Dams, Lotus di posisi ketiga, Arden Motorsport dan jagonya ayam with Carlin masih di posisi kelima. Dan ini adalah ketiga juara kali ini untuk race kedua di sirkuit Hungaroring. Oliver Rowland, Mathieu Vazivier, and also Malia, Gustav Malia. Sementara untuk recap dari klasemen para driver saat ini, Oliver Rowland masih memimpin dengan 123 poin, diikuti oleh Mathieu Vazivier di posisi kedua dengan 107 poin, dan Jasman Jafar still on the third.
Well, here we see the classifications of race 2 there. So Oliver Rowland, whatever was being investigated right now, I guess it seems like he's in the clear for what we know, and is, we can safely say, has come away with the win. Mathieu Vazivier, though, second place, but you can see right at the bottom there, fastest lap. He just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that he could go faster, but just didn't have the opportunity to go past anybody.
Mathieu Vazivier sebagai pembalap dengan waktu tercepat catatannya di sirkuit kali ini, namun itu tidak, dan bukan berarti apa-apa karena dia hanya mampu di runner up. Itu berarti butuh keberanian lagi dan butuh strategi yang lebih apik bagi Vazivier untuk mendahului atau overtaking sih.
Padahal tadi kita lihat sudah ketat sekali ya, benar-benar sudah kalau kita hitung mungkin selisihnya hanya 1-2 detik, tapi dalam sebuah race 1-2 detik tentu sangatlah berarti. Itulah mengapa pada saat pit stop tadi mereka sangat harus memaksimalkan waktu yang diberikan. Kami masih akan kembali setelah pesan-pesan berikut, tentunya juga melihat bagaimanakah kemeriahan dari nonton bareng di Makassar serta Solo. Jadi pastikan Anda jangan kemana-mana, kami akan segera kembali.
Kenikmatan yang sesungguhnya berawal dari kesabaran dan keikhlasan. Mari berbuka dengan KFC jagonya ayam duk-duk.
Kembali di live race Formula Renault 3.5 Series Hungaroring Circuit, baru saja untuk race kedua baru saja tadi selesai. Usai sudah bahwa akhirnya Oliver Rowland dan juga Vazivier yang diikuti oleh Gustav Malia memimpin untuk podium teratas di race kedua kali ini. Namun Tom Dillman masih mempertahankan dan konsistensinya yang juga finish di posisi 5, berarti ada poin lagi tim jagonya ayam with Carlin.
Betul, dan tentunya untuk Anda sport lovers yang dari tadi sudah menemani kita selama race ini, ada hadiah yang bisa Anda dapatkan, uang tunai sebesar Rp1 juta persembahan dari KFC. Jadi tunggu apa lagi? Langsung angkat telepon Anda, kemudian Anda bisa telepon ke 021 5366 0803 untuk Jabodetabek, dan untuk luar Jabodetabek Anda bisa langsung hubungi 021 5366 0801.
Yes, itu nanti akan bersama dengan rekan kita ada Ray Utami di sana. Tentunya tidak lupa buat Anda yang berada khususnya di kota Makassar dan juga Solo, dan juga buat Glailais ya yang sudah bertahan dan mendukung untuk tim Indonesia berlaga di Formula Renault 3.5 di Makassar dan juga Solo. Seperti apa kemeriahannya? Ada Nobar di sana, kita akan terhubung dengan rekan kita, ada Gibran dan juga Ratri. Selamat sore. Oke, Gibran, bagaimana suasana di sana? Silakan dengan laporan langsung Anda.
Kali ini saya masih berada di KFC Ratu Lagi Makassar, di mana keseruan nonton bareng di Formula Renault 3.5 di Makassar, Sulawesi Selatan tentunya masih meriah, masih banyak keseruan menarik lainnya yang akan dihadirkan di nonton bareng ini. Namun kalau tadi sempat Anda lihat sport lover bahwa tentunya pembalap asal Indonesia Sean Glaile harus menerima kenyataan pahit, dia harus berhenti di lap ke-13 karena ada sedikit kecelakaan. Tapi hal itu tidak membuat para pendukung Sean Glaile di Makassar, Sulawesi Selatan harus bersedih. Nah, untuk itu saya sudah bersama salah satu pendukung dari Sean Gelael, yaitu Fadlan. Selamat malam, Fadlan.
Selamat malam.
Oke, seperti yang tadi sempat Fadlan lihat kan, dari hasil Formula Renault 3.5 ini, kalau pembalap asal Indonesia, Sean Gelael harus terhenti di lap ke-13. Apa harapannya atau tanggapan seorang Fadlan sebagai fans dari Sean Gelael?
Ya, sudah menjadi kebanggaan bagi kita semua ya. Kita memiliki pembalap yang berpotensi sebagai orang yang bisa mengharumkan warga Indonesia di mata dunia seperti Sean Gelael.
Nah, untuk seri selanjutnya ini akan diadakan tanggal 12 Juli 2015 yang diadakan di Red Bull Ring Austria. Harapannya sendiri untuk tim jagonya ayam seperti yang ada tadi kita sempat saksikan, kalau rekan tim dari Sean Gelael sendiri, Dylan, berhenti atau harus berpuas diri di posisi kelima. Apa harapannya ke depan untuk tim jagonya ayam?
Ya, harapan saya sebagai warga negara Indonesia, khususnya warga Makassar ya, saya ingin mengajak kepada seluruh warga negara Indonesia untuk mensupport dan mendoakan Sean Gelael untuk bisa menjadi semakin terdepan di Formula 3.5 Renault ini.
Oke, terima kasih Pak. Dan tentunya terus mendukung pembalap asal Indonesia, Sean Gelael, untuk terus berprestasi di ajang internasional tentunya ya. Dan tentunya saudara, untuk di seri selanjutnya nanti yang akan diadakan tanggal 12 Juli 2015 akan berlangsung di sirkuit Red Bull Ring Austria. Ini dia keseruan dari Makassar, Sulawesi Selatan. Kita harus lihat keseruan di Solo. Bagaimana dengan Solo? Ratri, silakan Ratri.
Iya, para guys yang hadir di KFC Hartono Mall Semarang ini tadi baru saja tengah menyaksikan performance hiburan dari Gigi yang menyajikan album religi mereka, dan setelah tadi menyaksikan penampilan dari tim jagonya Emil Carlin, Sean Gelael dan juga Tom Dillman dalam race keempat mereka di ajang World Series Formula 3.5 Renault yang berlangsung di sirkuit Hungaroring, Hungaria. Nah, namun sebelum menutup acara nonton bareng bersama KFC dari KFC Hartono Mall Solo Baru ini, saya tengah bersama Gelael, salah satu Gelael yang telah bersama saya. Mereka menyaksikan bagaimana penampilannya dan punya pendapat mengenai tim jagonya Ayam with Carlin. Dengan Mas John. Mas John, tadi melihat penampilan tim jagonya Ayam with Carlin, gimana menurut Mas John melihat penampilan Tom Dillman yang telah menduduki peringkat kelima?
Oke banget ya, Tom Dillman berhasil menduduki peringkat kelima, berhasil menandingi pembalap-pembalap internasional lainnya. Itu keren banget, mewakili nama Indonesia di ajang balapan internasional. Biarpun tadi Sean Gelael, pembalap muda Indonesia, terpaksa harus keluar karena ada kerusakan mesinnya, tapi menurut saya itu masih oke lah, keren banget.
Kemudian kalau melihat acara nonton bareng ini untuk menyaksikan bersama wakil Indonesia yang berajang di kancah internasional, gimana?
Perlu banget ya untuk acara kayak gini untuk mempopulerkan sama sosialisasi pembalap Indonesia yang ikut kancah internasional.
Oke, terima kasih waktunya Mas John. Ya, itu tadi pendapat dari salah satu Gelael, dan semoga penampilan dari tim jagonya Ayam with Carlin selalu optimis di race-race berikutnya. Kembali ke studio.
Terima kasih Ratri dan juga Gibran tadi di
Makassar dan Solo ya. Kita lihat tadi suasananya meriah sekali, dan kalau di sana kan mungkin sudah ada acara bagi-bagi hadiah juga. Ya. Tidak mau ketinggalan di Jakarta, di studio tepatnya kami juga akan bagi-bagi hadiah untuk Anda, tapi bukan kita berdua yang memberikan hadiah.
Kita langsung ke Ray Utami, silakan untuk berbagi hadiah dengan Sport Lovers di rumah.
Terima kasih Cita dan Felis. Hai. Ketemu lagi dengan saya Ray Utami. Wah, seperti biasa ya, ada Ray di sini berarti ada uang 1 juta rupiah dipotong pajak persembahan dari KFC. Selamat datang di kuis interaktif World Series Formula Renault 3.5. Yang mau ikutan caranya gampang. Punya handphone, punya pulsa, langsung aja diangkat handphonenya, dipencet-pencet nomornya di 02153660803 untuk Jabodetabek, atau di 02153660801. Jangan lupa ada passwordnya, begitu dia bilang Gelael, langsung aja dijawab menjadi yang terdepan. Apakah sudah ada penelpon? Halo Gelael. Halo Gelael.
Menjadi yang terdepan.
Cakep. Dengan siapa di mana?
Dengan Antoni di Karawaci, Tangerang.
Oke, Mas Antoni, pertanyaannya gampang banget ya. Berapakah nomor mobil Sean Gelael? Apakah A 25 ataukah B 2005? Yang A atau yang B?
Yang A, Mbak.
Yakin?
25.
Dan jawabannya adalah benar. Selamat ya mendapatkan hadiah 1 juta rupiah dipotong pajak, tapi jangan ditutup dulu karena akan ada pendataan ulang dari tim Kompas TV. Dan hadiah ini dipersembahkan oleh...
Makasih.
Hadiah ini dipersembahkan oleh... KFC. Cakep! Nah itu dia, Ryutami udah selesai membagikan hadiah. Sekarang saatnya Ryutami kembalikan lagi kepada Cita dan Felix. Pokoknya tetap saksikan World Series Formula Renault 3.5 yang ada di Kompas TV. Ryutami pamit, bye-bye!
Terima kasih
Ryutami.
Selamat buat pemenang. Jangan lupa kita masih ada, berarti ada berapa race lagi ya? Ada 5 race lagi.
Iya, yang artinya masih ada 5 juta rupiah, masing-masing 1 juta rupiah untuk Anda penelpon yang beruntung. Dan caranya juga tadi mudah ya, hanya tinggal menjawab pertanyaan saja sudah bisa membawa pulang uang sebesar 1 juta rupiah. Wow.
Okay, we're back to Sanjeev Polar here.
Yes.
So, the other thing that interesting is the rookies. It's performed in this Ford race, Ford series in Hungary.
Yeah, I think what we saw this weekend was just how volatile the rookie performances are. In race 1, we saw a rookie, Igor Rostov, win the race. In race 2, Igor didn't score any points. He finished in 11th position. You know, he started on the front row of the grid, but I guess going into the first corner, he lost out. He was the one who ran wide and fell all the way back to 11th, and that just couldn't claw himself back. In return, we saw Gustav Malja, you know, make it to the podium, you know, and he's a rookie making it to the podium. So we saw a very good performance by him. But then, if you look at the performance of the rookies, you know, Nick de Vries was one rookie we talked a lot about because he made it to the podium in Aragon, and I think he made it to the podium in Spa. But then come to Hungary, you know, he barely walked away with 2 points at the Hungaroring. So the rookie year is really a learning year. And my point of highlighting all this is that the rookies actually go through these ups and downs, and you know, they have their high points and their low points. You know, Sean Gelael, you know, Monaco was probably his high point of the season. You know, he finished in 8th position, scored some really solid points over there. And today, perhaps he would probably mark this down as probably a low point in the season. But the point is, that's the nature of being a rookie. You know, you go through the highs and you go through the lows. Imagine all the Igor fans yesterday who said, oh, he won a race, he's going to have an excellent season and win the championship. But, you know, second race, he doesn't score any points. So it's really a step-by-step process that the drivers have to go through. And Sean's going through that process at the moment. But the most important thing is that he keeps building and he keeps improving, and he takes little, small learnings from every race weekend, and all the rookies keep doing that throughout the season.
Well, actually, Sean still have 5 series to have more high point for him to be on the podium.
Exactly. And the good thing is we're in the stage of the season now where Sean has driven on all the remaining 5 circuits except for one. The track, Le Mans track in France, he hasn't driven there. So out of the 5 races remaining, 4 of those circuits he knows it. He's raced there before, so he can take that experience and build on it and try and get a good result. The most important thing is not to get bogged down by this result, and I'm sure he'll be extremely excited when the next round comes next, so he can put this result behind him and move forward.
Kita masih harus melihat bagaimana nanti hasil di race selanjutnya, karena kalau kita melihat dari race kali ini, memang Sean Gelael determinasinya sudah semakin membulat, apalagi dengan sedikit kesalahan yang tadi terjadi ya, semakin menambah motivasinya untuk bisa tampil lebih baik di race selanjutnya.
Harus menjadi pecutan. Kalau kita lihat tadi ekspresinya, Sean tampaknya dia sadar bahwa dia melakukan sebuah kesalahan dan dia pasti tidak akan mengulanginya lagi. Harus menjadi pelajaran bagi Sean, dan tentunya kita akan masih menantikan, masih ada kesempatan bagi Sean setelah dari Hungaria bulan depan, pada tepatnya tanggal 10 dan juga sampai dengan 12 Juli, di mana tanggal 12 Juli Kompas TV akan kembali menanyakan secara langsung untuk race ke-6 di sirkuit Red Bull Ring di Austria. Jadi Anda juga bisa menantikan bagaimanakah perkembangan dari Sean Gelael dan juga tim jagonya Ayom with Carlin. Okay, so this is our last time for this race. I think we're gonna see you on the next race. Thank you very much for Sanjeev Polar coming all the way from Malaysia.
Thank you very much for having me with you in the studio once again. It's been a pleasure.
Welcome. Dan tentunya kami juga pamit undur diri. Sport Lovers, sampai jumpa di kesempatan selanjutnya. Saya Conchita Caroline.
Saya Feliciano Haryanto, dan salam Kompas Sport.
Terima kasih Anda telah menyaksikan Renault World Series Formula 3.5 yang dipersembahkan oleh
KFC Pesan Antar, telepon 14022, lebih cepat dan mudah.